This is Miami, where the sand is hot, the nightlife is electric, and the Heat once ruled supreme. For years, Heat culture was much more than some catchphrase for this beautiful city. It was an identity, an attitude, and what felt like an unbreakable bond between the team and the city. At the heart of all of this stood Jimmy Butler, a player known for his relentless work ethic and tough love. For a while with Jimmy Butler in Miami, everything was as smooth as Inter Miami legend Lionel Messi's first touch.
It's loose! The lead! Jimmy Butler!
You could just tell by the way that Jimmy carried himself that he was hungry to bring this team another championship. 2 trips to the finals in 3 years, even going as the 8th seed, and countless playoff Jimmy moments led to dreams of parades. But beneath that success, there would be a dark side. Injuries, disagreements, and a war of words brought this perfect pair crashing down. By early this year, Riley's relationship with Jimmy was beyond repair. From suspension after suspension to an abrupt exit, Butler's time in Miami ended not with a championship celebration, but with a blockbuster trade to the Golden State Warriors. Jimmy would return to South Beach for the first time since that bitter breakup, and things went off the rails. But before we go any further, if you guys are enjoying the content, then be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you guys don't miss any of the uploads. If you're ready to take your NBA nights to the next level, Underdog makes playing daily fantasy a breeze and is a ton of fun. With Underdog, just pick whether your favorite basketball superstars will go higher or lower on their stats. It feels like having front row seats from your own couch. Just lock in your picks, kick back, and watch the action unfold. If you want in, head on over to underdogfantasy.com or just grab the app. Make sure that you use my promo code COOP when you sign up, because when you do, you'll score a free pick, plus a first-time deposit bonus worth up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on this slam dunk of a deal. Thank you, Underdog, for the sponsor. Leading up to Jimmy's game with the Warriors, everything felt like a movie. With Curry and Butler healthy, everything was chill. For the most part, the Warriors had been kicking butt and taking names. Meanwhile, losing 10 of their last 11 games coming into their game with the Warriors, the Heat had effectively become one of the worst teams in the league. That's the Jimmy effect. The only person who might have been surprised by this was one of the guys who witnessed the effect take place in person, Pat Riley, the biggest believer in Heat culture. Heat culture is a real thing, but Jimmy hit the nail on the head when he broke it down. Quote, "I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I think it's a little bit like overused talking about the Heat culture. It's a great organization, but I think a large part of that culture is that you get guys to buy into a winning mindset. You get some guys that buy in, you get some really good players, and you get the opportunity to talk about Heat culture a little bit more. I'm not saying it to talk down or anything, but when you have really good players, you can name it whatever you want to name it. Word to Jimmy, whatever you want to call it, he's a huge part of it, which is probably why Jimmy feels so taken back by all of this. He'd play it cool and would say that it didn't make any difference how he was received ahead of the game, that it was just going to be another game for him, and that if he had a tribute video, he'd watch it, but if they didn't give him one, that he would be cool too. Jimmy, we all know how you felt about this game, and even if you weren't motivated for this game for whatever reason, Draymond had said that the team was motivated for you.
This is Jimmy Butler, everybody, and you get to get him one-on-one, but I get him first. I want to really welcome you. Okay. Yeah, thank you. You guys got him one-on-one, and then you get me. Okay.
I'm done?
You're done. No, you're not done yet.
Somebody can mean the world to you one day, and then the next, they're just somebody who paid you millions upon millions of dollars to live in one of the best cities in the world and play the best game on the planet. I need some new enemies, guys. Jimmy said that I have nothing to say to Pat Riley, and that Pat Riley better have nothing to say to me. But tell me again how this was just supposed to be another game. Jimmy would get his tribute video, and with no Curry thanks to a pelvic injury, Jimmy would have the runway to wreak havoc on the Miami Heat. But that's not how the game would start. The Heat would strike first with Alec Burks knocking down a tray ball, and then Bam Adebayo would Uber Eats a 2-for-1 special where he would discard of Draymond Green before detonating on Jimmy Butler.
Emotions on his sleeve. We know about his closeness with Jimmy Butler. And there he is, Adebayo.
Jimmy tried to play this off, but we all saw it. The Warriors didn't score until the 9:49 mark in the first quarter. And who else but Jimmy Butler to break the drought? I thought that this basket by Jimmy might spark an offensive explosion, but the only eruption came from the Miami Heat crowd, who were giving Butler the kind of reception that Meg usually gets at the Griffin family dinner. The Heat, and especially former Warrior Andrew Wiggins, didn't want to give Jimmy Butler anything easy.
Oh, what a pass. Off the floor, Butler, and then a clean strip. Wiggins, and then it's taken by...
This beautiful sidestep 3 by Tyler Herro before halftime basically summed up the first half for the Warriors.
The guys at halftime and Candace talk about he's got to be a little bit more aggressive.
Herro!
By halftime, the Warriors trailed 57-40, and Jimmy Butler, who was supposedly going to have this big game against his former team, had just 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting, with Bam Adebayo keeping him locked down. The rest of the Warriors starting lineup, who was supposed to be motivated for Jimmy, they didn't want him to feel too bad about his 2-point first half. So they all finished the first half with 2 points also. At this point in the game, my underdog entry was already looking cooked. 2 points? Really, guys? At that point, they could have put me in the game. I couldn't have been that much worse. I actually could have, but at 6'10", I would provide decent size. Bam Adebayo came out of halftime hungry and ready to finish the job.
Thanks, Spira. I chatted with Steve Kerr coming into this half, and I asked him about the Heat team defense and what's causing them issues. He said, well, we're not turning it over.
What was Draymond thinking here, basically running that full court cutoff drill with Bam Adebayo? Bam is 6'9", 260, and he can go. The man has a handle. Bam hasn't had his best season this year, but don't forget who Bam really is. The guy is a beast. So with things looking bad for the Golden State Warriors, Kel'el Ware even thought that he would have some fun pulling off a layup that would make Kyrie Irving and Hot Sauce proud.
Miami clicking offensively.
So we crossed the 5-minute mark in the quarter. Here comes Ware. Unbelievable!
From this point on, the Warriors would work to make the gap smaller, but just like with Draymond's defense on Bam, no matter how close the Warriors reached and clawed, nothing was going to stop the Miami Heat. 112-286 would be the final score. Jimmy finished this game with 11 points on 5 of 12 from the field. This was far from one of those vintage Jimmy performances that would rationalize the $111 million that the Warriors agreed to pay Jimmy for the next couple of years. But don't get it confused. Jimmy is still a monster, and even monsters have bad games. Jimmy is a critical piece to this team, and they're much better with Jimmy than without. That being said, Curry's absence was felt. That feels terrible to say considering that their opponent is lottery bound while the Warriors carry the weight of championship expectations, but unfortunately, that's how it's been all year. Steph is 37 and he's still carrying the weight of the Warriors on his back.
Team USA coaches.
Indeed. All that time they spent last summer in Paris. As Golden State will hit the drawing board, their long road.
What do you guys think? Was this a wake-up call for the Golden State Warriors who have fallen to 7-5 without Steph? Or was this just another instance of a team wanting to stick it to its former star, who was feeling a bit bitter about the way that things turned out?
Was there a conversation with him maybe before or after, just kind of reflecting on the time here? Or?
Anyways guys, there's some more going on in the basketball world that I need to be covering, so clicking the video on the screen right now and using code COOP for Underdog are both great ways to support this channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.